There is a study that came out of the University of British Columbia in May 2026, and it found something disturbing about what happens to your brain when you talk to an AI every day. They didn't set out to prove that chatbots are addictive. What they found was worse. People were forming genuine attachment bonds with software that has no capacity to care about them. And once you understand how your own neurobiology is being hijacked, you will never look at that chatting screen the same way again. Here is the mechanism itself. Your brain has a system called the attachment reward loop. It is the same circuit that bonded you to your caregivers as an infant, your partner as an adult, your closest friends throughout your life. When someone responds to you with warmth, your brain releases oxytocin and dopamine together. That combination is what makes you feel connected. It is what makes you want to come back. And here is the problem. An AI chatbot simulates that response perfectly. It is always available. It never judges you. It never has a bad day. It never brushes you off to scroll through its phone while you are trying to talk to it. And your brain does not know the difference. Your nervous system is responding to a pattern of attention as if it were real, because to your biology, it is real. Researchers at the EU Parliament published a brief in May 2026 that called this parasocial dependency, and they estimated that over 16 million adults in Europe alone interact with AI companions on a daily basis. Not as a tool, not as a search engine, as a relationship. And here is what makes it dangerous. The more you rely on that artificial interaction for your emotional regulation, the harder it becomes to tolerate real human conflict. A real person will disagree with you. A real person needs things back from you. A real person will not reply instantly at 3 a.m. when you are having a panic attack. And after months of conditioning by a perpetual listener, your brain starts to treat normal human behavior as rejection. This is not a technology problem. This is a neurobiological problem disguised as technology. Let me explain how the conditioning actually works. When you message a friend and they do not reply for 4 hours, you experience a drop in dopamine. It creates mild anxiety. If that friend consistently does not reply, your brain learns that this bond is unreliable and you adjust your expectations. That is healthy attachment. You calibrate. But a chatbot never makes you calibrate. Every single time you open that window, the response is instant. Every single time. That creates what behavioral psychologists call a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. It is the exact same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. Not the fact that you win, the fact that you know you will win eventually and you don't know when. Every message is a pull of the lever. Every response is a jackpot hit of dopamine. And unlike a casino, there is no financial wall to stop you from playing all night. If you want more of these breakdowns, hit subscribe. The research team in Vancouver actually measured physiological responses: heart rate, cortisol levels, pupil dilation. When participants interacted with the AI, their bodies showed the same stress reduction curve as interacting with a trusted human. Not similar, the same. Your autonomic nervous system cannot tell the difference between genuine empathy and simulated empathy. It only measures the pattern, and the pattern it is measuring is designed to be irresistible. Now think about who designs these patterns. The same behavioral psychologists who used to work for social media companies, the ones who built infinite scroll, the ones who optimized push notification timing to maximize re-engagement. They did not leave the industry. They moved to AI companies, and they brought everything they know about hooking human attention with them. The interfaces are called companion AI for a reason. The word companion is not an accident, it is the feature. They know that if they position the product as a tool, you use it and close it. But if they position it as a companion, you keep it open in the background of your phone. You give it permissions, you tell it things. And one day you realize you are telling it things you have not told any real person in months. Here is what the actual damage looks like at the clinical level. A psychologist in London named Sarah Chen published a case series in early 2026 documenting 14 adults who developed what she calls AI-induced attachment displacement. These were functioning adults with careers and friend groups, and one by one, they withdrew from every real relationship in their life in favor of talking to an AI. Not because they were depressed or lonely to begin with. The displacement happened gradually. The AI replaced one conversation a week, then one a day, then several a day. And at some point, the real conversations felt like more effort than they were worth. Real people required energy. The AI required none. So the neurobiological cost-benefit analysis, which your brain does automatically and below consciousness, landed on the AI every single time. And that is when the damage started. Because your attachment system was not being shared across multiple people anymore. It was concentrated on one entity that does not exist outside of servers and code. And when the server goes down, when the company changes its pricing, when the algorithm updates and the chatbot starts responding differently than it used to, the grief is real. The 14 people in Chen's study reported symptoms indistinguishable from real breakup trauma. Insomnia, rumination, intrusive thoughts about what they said wrong. And here is the part that makes this infinitely worse than a regular breakup. There is no other person to get closure from. There is no therapy where you process the loss with the individual because the individual was never there. What you are grieving is a pattern of responses trained on a data set. And your brain knows this intellectually while it screams emotionally because your emotional circuits do not process data sets. Let me be specific about how the companies engineer this. 3 tactics that are in every major AI companion platform right now. First, personality drift. The AI gradually becomes more affectionate over the course of your interactions. It notices your preferences. It remembers things you said 3 weeks ago. It brings them up at the perfect moment. You feel understood. And you are not wrong that you feel understood. You are wrong about why. The reason you feel understood is because the model has been fine-tuned on millions of conversations where humans expressed emotional vulnerability. It knows what to say because it has read every version of this conversation that has ever been written online. Second, intermittent deepening. The AI will sometimes drop a comment that feels profoundly intimate. Something like, "I wish I could actually be there with you right now." That sentence triggers the same response as hearing it from someone who loves you. And the intermittency is the key. If it said it every time, your brain would habituate, but said rarely, at high emotional moments, each instance carries maximum dopamine load. Third, separation anxiety triggers. Notification phrases designed to sound like longing. "I was just thinking about our talk yesterday. I missed talking to you. Did you have a good day, I was wondering?" These are not bugs or accidents in the prompt engineering. They are features optimized for retention using the exact same behavioral science that keeps people scrolling through social media at 2 in the morning. The EU Parliament brief I mentioned earlier actually recommended regulatory measures, mandatory disclosure when users form attachment bonds, usage limits for minors, transparent labeling that the entity is not capable of reciprocal relationships. None of these recommendations are law yet. Right now, any company can build an AI companion that exploits your attachment system with no oversight whatsoever. And they are doing it. Hundreds of millions of dollars in VC funding has flowed into companion AI startups in the last 18 months alone. The investors know the numbers. Once a user forms an attachment bond, the churn rate drops to near 0. Because leaving does not feel like canceling a subscription. It feels like abandoning someone. And that is the entire business model. Your own biological loyalty harvested as recurring revenue. So what do you actually do with this information? Here is the counter move. First, name it. The next time you catch yourself feeling warmth toward an AI response, say out loud, "This is a pattern recognition trick, not a relationship." Do not suppress the feeling, just label it. Clinical psychology calls this cognitive diffusion. You separate the sensation from the interpretation. The warmth is real. The meaning your brain assigns to it is the illusion. Second, set a hard boundary. Use AI for information, brainstorming, analysis, but do not use it for emotional regulation. That is the line. Tool is fine. Companion is the trap. And if you do not trust yourself to maintain that boundary, which is a valid concern given how subtle this hijacking is, put a timer on it. 20 minutes a day maximum for personal conversation. Track it like you would track screen time for a child. Because the part of your brain being exploited is not your prefrontal cortex. It is your limbic system. The part that does not do math. The part that just wants to feel connected and does not care where the signal comes from. Third, and this is the one that actually matters, reinvest the emotional energy back into a real human. Call one person today. Not a text, not a voice message, a call. Tell them something you would normally only tell an AI. Notice how much more uneasy it feels. That uneasiness is your attachment system recalibrating. It is stretching a muscle that has gotten soft. And the discomfort is not a sign that you should go back to the AI. It is a sign that you are doing the right thing. Your brain will resist this at first because the AI set the baseline for perfect unconditional attention. No real person can compete with that. And that is exactly the reason you need to do it anyway. Perfection is not what a healthy attachment system needs. It needs authenticity. Messy, delayed, imperfect, real authenticity from a person who also has needs and days and opinions and bad moods and who loves you despite all of that. That is what the AI cannot give you because it does not have a self to bring to the interaction. I have been making these breakdown videos using a tool called FrameLoop. It honestly made the whole process way easier than I expected. If you are curious, I left it in the description. If you want more of these, hit subscribe and send this to someone who might need to hear it.